Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I'm going to say something that I think years ago people would have been surprised for me to say, but probably only about 4 or 5 years ago because they forget I used to do a lot of dumbbell curls on camera 9, 10, 11 years ago, didn't I? Yeah, I did them all the time. Did them all the time. Uh, but here's the thing. Everyone, when it comes to strength training, they always do want to promote minimalism. And I think that to a certain degree, minimalism can have its place. But, I think we get pretty ludicrous with it with this whole idea with curls. And I think people need to find a good middle ground there. Because you always see people on the extremes. You'll see a lot of strength athletes and strength coaches, and, particularly, say, the starting strength type advocates who will say, oh, don't waste your time on curls. They don't do anything, right? They'll say all that. They're a waste of time. And then on the other extreme, you'll see the bodybuilding side who they'll literally have you doing 4 different types of curls, 5 different types of curls in one workout. Now, to anyone who really understands training programming, has looked at the science, looked at the research, all these other things, both of these extremes are actually equally ludicrous. Okay? They're both equally ludicrous. Why? Because the biceps aren't a complicated muscle. Biceps actually don't have the most amazing work capacity or ability to recover, less so than the triceps, for example. Okay? And they're the smallest major muscle in the upper body, but they get a lot of attention and a lot of focus. But I get it. Here's the thing. Here's why. Most of the time we're walking around in clothing. Usually in warmer weather, most men are walking around in a t-shirt. People notice your biceps from the front in a t-shirt. Unless you have a really baggy one on, in which case you just look fat. You'll look fat and sloppy even if you look like a fitness model in that case. Just keep that in mind. But they're noticeable. They're seen most of the time. Even though they're a pretty minor muscle, they are seen most of the time. People care. All right? They care. All right. But again, the thing is, I feel like just we as a lifting community, people tend to want to gravitate to those two extremes, though, because people care. Guys get obsessed over them. They're like, oh, we got to find 37 different ways to train them. You know what? You probably only need to do one type of curl in a workout. You know what? You really do. You're probably not going to benefit from doing 3 or 4 types. Maybe 2 different types in one workout. Okay. That could have its place if you really have a major bicep weakness. I do. Like, we know biceps and arms are lagging muscles for me. I've had to work pretty hard to get any development, proportionately. And I still don't give them that much attention. Because they're a more minor point to me. I really care about my strength most and just getting thick overall. But, that's the funny thing. I thought I would also make a video with me doing all different types of curls. I threw the bench in just so that people wouldn't be like, oh my God, a long video of Blaha doing nothing but curls. I'm going to break my screen. Right? We can't have that happen. But here's the thing. It's fine to do some curls. Okay? It's fine to do some curls. As long as you're not overtraining the biceps or doing stuff that's going to damage your tendons. And I think this is where a lot of strength coaches have pushed the other direction, is because there are so many injuries as a result of curls. And it's so funny because people don't realize this. All right? The average lifter who goes to the gym, has never occurred to them that curls are one of the highest causes of injuries that require surgery. They're unaware of this. And it's because people want to overdo curls. They want to cheat in weird ways. And notice when you guys have seen me do power curls, it's a very controlled type of cheating, and I'm very careful with the bar path. It's not just get the weight up any way that you can. I always lean forward. And in fact, I would say a little bit of forward lean on any type of curl is probably one of the best things you can do to reduce risk of injuries. Because really, where do we see the most injuries? On the preacher curl bench. That's a big one. Why? Arms are way out in front. Look at what it does at the lengthened position. Okay, it puts that tendon in a very precarious situation. All right? But most injuries are also overuse. I would go so far as to say that even if you did that with, relatively reasonable weights and go all the way down and don't get crazy with it, don't do too much volume, that's probably still safe. Probably still safe. It's when people get crazy and try to cheat, they lay back. They get on the preacher bench and try to use a weight so heavy that they have to lay back to cheat with that arm forward. Well, that's the problem. The same thing with a cheat curl. If you're going to cheat it and you're laying back, that's where you put that tension on the tendon that becomes dangerous. Lean forward a little. Problem solved. But, by that same token, you look at that preacher bench and go, yeah, but man, that does put a really good spot in the lengthened position too, where a lot of growth happens. So, where do you find that middle ground? That's the middle ground. Maybe just skip the preacher curls, but if you want to do barbell curls, dumbbell curls, easy bar curls, they're all good. Just work on a good range of motion, getting a pump, slowly chasing progressive overload. Don't try to do 25 sets, right? Don't try to do just endless sets. I'm going to go so far as to say that at the most extreme, I would never give someone more than about 6 sets for biceps in one workout. And that's on the far end. That's if they're really lagging. I'd probably benefit from that. I should consider it. But, that's the thing. Don't go overboard with it. Don't do things that inflame your tendons. And if you do that, I think it's perfectly fine for anyone, even a strength athlete, to do some curls at the end after all your heavy benching and your other work. You want to do some curls. Do some curls. It's not going to hurt anything as long as you're not overtraining them, as long as you're not getting overuse problems in the tendons. Right? Using a form that it's not going to hurt you. Not trying to do 25 sets. I think it's fine. You guys want to do some curls, do some curls. And the fact that it's become such an interesting point of contention on both extremes, that's really where we've gotten ludicrous. We really have. Guys think they need 20 sets for biceps in one workout, 5 different exercises. Sorry, that's insane. But it's also insane to say, oh, well, you should never do curls, And I've kind of taken that position a few times. In retrospect, that's a very extreme and relatively silly position. Okay? But so is the other, that you need 5 different exercises, 1 or 2 done after your heavier work. That's fine. Your arms will probably grow pretty well from that. Right? They'll probably grow pretty well. All right, guys, but that's really all I have to say on that today. I hope it's been informative, and I'll talk to you guys next time.